the best of humanity could be reflected in AI, and only the best.
When it comes to trust and ethics for AI in the healthcare system, how do you feel, or what can you conceive as a solution that even potentially AI may have when it relates to trust building, ethics, or governance of when these things are plugged in and adopted, with some kind of belief that they're going to work correctly?
So maybe I'll take a step back and sort of compare two technologies here. Yeah, I think it was like 20 years ago, Zuckerberg created Facebook and launched obviously before that there was MySpace and whatever, but social media just kind of descended upon us, without much thought to safety. What is it going to do to, behavioral issues, attention, all information, disinformation, truth bubbles, all these things that we're seeing now. We had no clue that this was going to be the outcome of what it looked like. Hey, I can connect with my friends and find long lost friends on a social media platform, which was originally kind of what it started as.
It was a solution to snail mail.
Exactly.
Right.
So AI, we're spending a lot of time on safety. Is it safe? Is it responsible? Is it ethical? Not yet. And the reason for that is not that technology itself is doing that. It's just that the underlying bias that we as humans have perpetuated, and we as humans have sort of made different decisions that are subjective, are reflected in the data. So then if AI is trained on that data, it's going to scale all of those things in a way that perhaps would make it unsafe. But listen, we know that to be the case, right? And we know how to solve for that using tech, meaning let's test for bias, let's test for ethics, let's make sure that AI has a fundamental sort of set of guiding principles that it always adheres to, much like you've taken your Hippocratic oath. AIs will take their own Hippocratic oath, say we shall do no harm. And I think we can solve for that. And if we did, imagine then the best of humanity could be reflected in AI, and only the best. And that best of humanity then applied to each of us as individuals and collectively as a society, how powerful would that be? It almost would be a way to sort of correct the human biases and say, well, what's your factual basis for the way you're training me? Tell me, show me the evidence. It's not you, AI, saying, hey, I think you're wrong. What if you're training the AI and it says, Sanjay, I don't agree with your treatment plan because there's no evidence for that. Well, teach me how you came up with this. And you could almost have like that back and forth so that it learns from you and you're learning from it to then create a better option for better outcome for your patients. Now, that's only going to be possible if we do all the legwork up front, eliminate the hallucinations, minimize the bias, look at the data quality, make sure that the way we're training the AI is appropriate. There's a defined body of work that needs to happen. But once there, and once you sort of have these safety protocols in place, I think it's absolutely possible that AI then becomes the enabler of trust as opposed to us having to question, AIs, whether we can trust it, whether they can be malicious, all that. But any technology in a bad actor's hands could result in bad outcomes. But we can't stop innovation because of the fact that there are bad actors in this world. We just have to put enough protocols in place to minimize the risk of that.
No, you bring up, just an excellent concept that, we've never discussed before and like directly. And even if it's something as simple as, automated AI or automotive AI or whatever, that the concept simply rests behind the fact that we have true statistical and mathematical ways to assess bias already. Like that's what you do for any study. Like you basically measure the bias, you quantify it. There's different kind of biases. We get actually tested on them in all of our boards even. And there's the observer bias. All of this is a science. Like it is a study. And you heavily vet and assess these things, especially when they lead to therapeutic implication or healthcare intervention of any kind. If that's the case, if you can get a degree in evaluating bias, it's not an opinion thing. It's like a true statistical, actual science to it. Then you train the agent to do that. And like, it's not like that agent's got the other agent's back or the other AI's back. They're just autonomous, closed off tools that you can use. And that is a very interesting concept. So I think the people that are very bullish or optimistic about AI, they should arguably be very focused on the ethics and ethical evaluations to be that kind of demonstration or proof as these things surface, at least in healthcare. Hey, these are the things that are biased, or these are the things that we identified. And then go ahead and vet that, because now you have the ability to vet and examine, several different tools or models. I guess, of course, the training's going to, differ depending on what the context of that agent is. But that should be the full court press, top priority, because otherwise things will live and die by, as to your point, the first quote unquote failure or non-perfection is what I fear. So, very interesting point there for sure.